I've been a rose uh, gardener for some time. I would say probably about 2000, on, and but I kind of established my own liking, and I got to realize this year because I have to plant all new roses in this particular plot here, and what I have been trying to choose the varieties or whatever the kind of roses I like to get. Most of all, I like to get taller roses. That means climber or rambler, because I think in the past, every time I see the roses in an English garden setting, in the movies or Paris gardens and all these things, British garden, I would say that all the roses climbing all along the wall of the fantastic old houses, and that particular image is very, very strong for me. So I tend to get climbers and the ramblers there, but not necessarily ditching out the hybrid teas or smaller roses. And but also over the years I met the people who are also rose persons, very, very avid rose gardener, the local American Rose Society's chairs or anything like that. And those people mention once in a while some of the name of the roses, and kind of those people very senior statues, and they passed away, and so I kind of try to remember them as well, especially this particular person who I really, really admired and respected. She told me, once in a while that roses, when I asked the question, what is the good roses, or what is the white roses, or what is the roses that I have to get, and she was telling me like a Bourdonnais, this is the white roses, and Jean Le Jour. Jean Le Jour is the not the white, but it's a miniature roses, but it's climber. It gets tall climber, but the rose itself is smaller, and so those things kind of I'm attracted to it, and also I don't know, the person I kind of took care of their garden. She was really, she's a French person, and she came to the garden one day, and she pointed out, what is this roses? And I said, Jacqueline Dupre. Of course, Jacqueline Dupre is like a single petal roses, shrub roses, and a very, very beautiful fragrance, strong fragrance, and kind of a robust in Colorado. And so I like to get that. Those three roses is a list for the next year purchase, though. And so it's all sold out and everything. So next year I'm aiming for it. And so those things that memory of the past, and remembering the person, and those things are very, very personal, but very, very strong there. So yeah, that's the one thing that I have to pay attention. The other thing is that, of course, the characters of roses is like a fragrance. The fragrance is like I mostly attracted to roses. The reason I attracted to roses is because I think it's a fragrance, and the fragrance. Some of the roses is out of the world fragrance, like the blue roses, for example, has a typical range of fragrance, maybe fruity type of very strong, uh, fantastic fragrance. And so I like to get those, but those things are not that much available today. Uh, like a Lagerfeld, like this is purplish, lavenderish color flowers, but the fragrance was tremendously to my choice. I think very, very nice. So I like to get them, but it's not available these days that much. So yeah, I think the fragrance is the one. I think David Austin had the same idea that yeah, fragrance is very, very important, and only they sell only the roses which is fragrant, you know, and so yeah, they are very, very popular today, and the finally, I think it's a shape of the roses. I think David Austin roses has a tremendous, beautiful flowers that resemble the old garden roses. Many, many petal. They're called cabbage roses, maybe. And those things are not kind of attracted to it. The way that David Austin roses is fantastic is that they are shrub roses, so it's not like hybrid tea. Like it's hybrid tea rose is very, very gawky, and flowers comes out just a very single stems and one flower on top, and it's a flower itself is huge and beautiful shapes, like a cup shaped flowers, and that's even that's most of people attracted to it. But I rather like to have like a more or less like an English rose type of shrub type of roses, which grows a little relatively bigger, and the many stems gracefully coming out from there, and the flowers, many petals. And so David Austin roses, the one kind of roses I really like to get. But in this garden here this year, I don't have many David Austin because they're so popular. They're all sold out, and they're not available at the time I was getting it. So, the other thing is the disease resistance, and the way they bloom and the colors. The way they bloom, as I told you, that free flowering form, and the flower itself is maybe beautiful, and also the white color roses, I kind of attracted to it, and so yeah, I think that's one of the things that I have to convey to you guys. If you get into rose garden, gardener, I would say, and if you never grew roses before, I think it's worthwhile to try, first, and just buy any roses that you kind of attracted to. You buy them and you plant them, and then see. And rose has this magic. Once you kind of attach to it, you cannot never get away from it, because flower itself, it's so beautiful compared to other flowers, perennials or whatever, and also it's a repeat nature. Sometimes is very, very precious. For example, this particular rose here is the Don Juan, and it's of course a repeat nature there, repeat flowering, because already peak flowering season of spring is past, and therefore this is the repeat flower. But it's very, very beautiful, and yeah, so repeat flowering is kind of important, and this is also repeat. This is the rose called cloud cloud 10, I think, and it's a white flower, but it is like a yellowish tint at the center, creamy, right? Not much. I like the pinkish tint to the white roses. I like that. But you know, the John F. Kennedy, the beautiful hybrid tea roses, um, I used to have has a yellowish tint to it. Um, you know, like a cream color, yellowish cream color, or the pinkish cream color, pinkish cream, you know, pinkish white color, and so that's one captures that you can look for the white roses. In the white, just striking white is, you know, I like to show example, but this is not the striking white roses, but it's Shasta daisy. This is striking white here. It's you know, at the yellow center, but petal itself is strikingly white, which is, you know, kind of a difficult to get. So that's white color. And the other thing is that some of the roses kind of lose the shape after flowering, and they open, and they kind of you know, shape itself is not that pretty anymore. But this particular rose, like Margaret Merrow, I showed you before, is still flowering after a week, or after 10 days, after 2 weeks maybe. Still keeping this particular shapes there, and still, you know, I cannot deadhead them because it's still keeping this particular statue here, even the petal seems to get a little bit brownish and everything, but still I would say beautiful. So yeah, the kind of roses that I don't care for that much is that the one that probably this one here. This is a winner's circle. When it comes out, it's very pretty, but soon it will become a little bit open up, and the shape is kind of like this. But still, you know, pretty, you know, this type of red stands out from far distance, and so it is nice. But yeah, I think those things that I look for at, and yeah, I recommend roses is very, very nice. I think as I told you before, that it's very, very reliable. Because of this, some of the roses are very vigorous in the cold weather, and it lasts long time. Sometimes that the flowering season lasts long time if it's a repeating nature. It's one-time bloomer, you know, that's a little bit detrimental. And for example, David Austin himself trying to you know, produce the repeat nature of roses, but his first successful rose is a constant spray, and they are very beautiful, like old garden rose look like, and fantastic, but no repeat, just one time bloom. So that's also nice there. I think I don't mind it in one time bloom. For example, my favorite rose this year is a DuPonti. DuPonti is like a single white flowering roses. But when it flowers, entire garden smells like a fantastic rose smell, which is very, very nice. And so, uh, yeah, to repeat, nature is very important, fragrance is very important, and keeping the shapes, the form as long as possible, that's important. And what else? I think disease resistance also very important. And but I think most of the roses, if you grew some of the roses or any kind, I think you're surprised to see how wonderful the roses are, because the way they flower is fantastic. You know, they bloom beautifully. You know, sometimes even though no fragrance, the beauty itself win the people's heart. And so, yeah, I think many reasons, and that also there's a lot of like you know, thousands of varieties, you know, including species and old garden roses available today, and that's why the many people are attracted to roses. And once you become a rose gardener, you know, I'm sure you cannot get out of it, because compared to other perennials and annuals and all these things, roses has a special beauty. I think the form itself is very beautiful, and you realize that yeah, particular thing is pretty much you know, you become like a rose garden at that particular point. So, yeah, I wanted to talk about roses this summer of heat. I think it's going to be 90 degrees today, and roses do very well in the 90 degrees, 100 degrees even. They do very well. I think warmer is better, I would say. But you know, in the cold climate region, like you know, northwest, Pacific Northwest or Colorado, zone 4, zone 5, I think still, you know, you can cultivate roses, like Canadian roses, specifically, you know, like a bred in that kind of cold climate. And Adelaide Foodless, Henley Kelsey, Modern Centennial, Jean Cabot, William Buffin, all these roses are fantastic in a cold area, and I really love that. Kind of a tall statue, and blooms abundantly. And as a matter of fact, I think the reason why I got interested is I saw this particular rose is climbing all over to the you know, second floor, third floor at the Botanic Garden. Was William Buffin, Canadian roses. That you know, place that I saw the roses can grow in the cold climate like that, that tall, that big, and statue. So yeah, I think that could be, you know, in my history of gardening, influenced me a lot. So yeah, Canadian roses. I'm not sure that I haven't tried Canadian roses here in the south. Can grow here or not. But you know, especially like a modern centennial, I like to grow that. Fantastic roses, but I'm not sure. I haven't tried this one here yet. How well do they do here? The thing is like a disease resistance, you know, and also insect. I think that pretty much like an insect is okay to me, with me, like this particular thing here. This is like a solitary bees damage here. They have like circle type of damage of roses leaves, but I don't mind this. This solitary bee makes a nest with this cutting the rose petal like this and make a nest themselves alone. It's not like a whole bunch of honeybee type of thing. Not like that. It's like a one rose make a nest himself or herself and make a little bit curly structure with this particular leaves. So I don't mind it, and I think I think it's kind of cute and pretty when I see this. So yeah, there's lots of things that you enjoy as a rose garden. Yeah. So yeah, I really recommend. Best way to do it, you just do it. You can go to the like a nursery or the garden center, and if you find even today, some roses in the pots, they are on sale, maybe like a half price or like a 10% of the regular price, because they are trying to get rid of it. And those ones are pretty much the one you can try without any regrets, right? Those things. And also like a big bookstore like a Walmart, for example, sometimes they kind of throw them away when the roses, like a potted roses start to decline. They throw them away. So it's almost like either free or very cheap, like $1 or something like that. And those things you have to watch for, because if you buy those or if you get those and the plant in your garden, it starts to grow fantastically and beautiful flowers comes out there. I tried in the past many times. I think that's one of the reasons that I got to know a little bit about hybrid tea. Usually I don't buy hybrid tea roses, but I got to know those hybrid tea roses by buying either free or very cheap. And then I realized, yeah, that's also eye-catching type of experience, because they are kind of a gawky as a growth, but flower itself is beautiful, big flowers, and also fragrant. Some of them are very fragrant. So yeah, any type of roses, shrub roses, for example, Carefree Wonder and Carefree Delight type of roses are very simple type of roses, but it's abundantly flower and not so much fragrance, but still it's worthwhile to get those. Yeah. So I think for your novice gardener all over the world, I think I really strongly recommend get into the rose gardening. Okay, that's my tips today.